Hi everybody, this is Alan Ellman, the Blue Collar Investor, with today's option selling question of the day. Today's question comes from Lisa. Hi Alan, I am trying to figure out how to use the What Now tab and wonder if you can assist me with the following situation. I fake bought Shopify, ticker SHOP, on Monday for $466.50 and sold the $500 strike for a bid of $13.40. Today, the stock has risen to $475.64 with the ask buyback price of $17.45. I was thinking possibly to roll out and up and was trying to understand the calculations within the What Now tab of the Ellman Calculator. If I wanted to roll out using the same strike of 500 and the same date of the call, February 21st, in an attempt to hit a double, and the spreadsheet shows a minimal gain or loss, can you kindly advise me of what I'm doing wrong? Thanks, and it's signed Lisa. Okay. Let me start before we actually break down this trade by complimenting Lisa for fake trading or paper trading. That's very important to do when we're beginning the educational process. So congrats on that. Now, specifically defining rolling out or rolling out and up would entail either using the same strike or a higher strike, but not in the same month. Okay, so if we just rolled up, that there wouldn't be out and up. So the definitions here have to be fully understood before we move forward. Okay, so that said, let's break down the trade as Lisa described it in her question. So on January 27th, 2020, Lisa fake bought SHOP at $466.50 and the same time sold the out of the money February 21st 500 call and generated $1,340 per contract. Now, just a couple of days later, the stock was trading at $475.64, popped up $9 a share in a very short time frame. And the cost to close the $500 call was $17.45, higher than the amount generated when the option was initially sold. So the question is rolling the option a viable position management choice? And that's what we have to figure out now. So let's first have a look at the actual way the trade was structured, because in a lot of cases that will dictate how we manage our positions. So if we look at the multiple tab of the Ellman Calculator, and by the way, you can get a free copy of it at the free resources link on the top black bar of all of our web pages. Okay, so we're going to look at the multiple tab of the Ellman Calculator, and we can see on the blue cells on the left-hand side of the spreadsheet that the stock was purchased at $466.50 and the 500 out of the money strike was sold at $13.40. Once those stats are entered, the white cells on the right side of the spreadsheet become populated. Now, the break even is $453.10. At this point in time, with the stock trading above $475, we're not too concerned about the break even. So let's look at the return on our option, or the ROO, which represents the $13.40 based on the cost of the shares. And that was a 1-month return of 2.9%. So for many of us, that does fit our initial time value goal return range. In my case, 2 to 4% a month. So here we got 2.9%. So far, so good. Now, should the stock move from current share price purchase up to the 500 strike, we will have generated an additional 7.2%. We have an opportunity for this particular trade to generate better than 10% in 1 month. So that's the way the trade was structured, a kind of a bullish approach to covered call writing and this particular security. Now, let's have a look at the exit strategy possibilities that Lisa was considering. Now, Lisa mentioned hitting a double. Now, hitting a double applies to a stock that goes down in value early in the contract, allowing us to buy back the option at 20% of the original option sale price. So it would be 20% of $13. Now, in this case, the stock didn't go down, it went up. So hitting a double wouldn't apply at this point in time. It might later in the contract, but right now it does not apply. So that's not applicable. Now, the other possibility is the mid-contract unwind exit strategy. Now, that does relate to a stock that's appreciating in value, but one that goes well past the strike price, thereby rendering the time value component of the premium to approach zero. That is not the case here. The price of the stock did go up $9 in 2 days, but it's still well below the 500 strike that Lisa initially sold. So the mid-contract unwind exit strategy also does not apply at this particular point in time. It may later on in the contract. Now let's get to Lisa's question about rolling the option, buying back the current option and then selling a new one. And Lisa alluded to rolling out or rolling out and up. But in essence, if she was going to use the same expiration date, it's just rolling up or just buying back the option and selling it for the same strike price, which, as you'll see in a moment, never is to our advantage. Okay, so let's have a look at the What Now tab of the Ellman Calculator. And the What Now tab will tell us if we buy back the option and sell another one, where do we stand from a profit or loss vantage point. So you could see here in the blue cells that we entered the information. The price of the stock on the top right was $466.50 initially. A couple days later, $479.42. The option premium generated initially was $13.40, and the cost to buy it back a couple days later was $17.45. Now, if we sold the 500 strike, we would generate $17.40. That kind of makes sense because the cost to buy it back was $17.45, and then we'd sell it the same option, $17.40. The bid is almost always lower than the ask. So you can see right from this that it really doesn't make sense to roll the option to the same strike price in the same month. Now, if we rolled up to the 505 strike, that would generate $15.60. So let's see what the spreadsheet has to say about that. So on the top of this spreadsheet, which are the white cells on the right side after the blue cells are populated, you can see on the top, we mentioned before, the rolling to the same strike, you're just losing on the bid-ask spread. In this case, it would be minus 0.01%. So let's forget about that. It makes absolutely no sense to do that. Now, what if we rolled out and up? Well, on the bottom right of the spreadsheet here, you could see that there is a loss because the cost to buy back the option was more expensive than the amount generated by rolling up to the 505 strike price. So there's a loss. Now, if the price of the stock moves up to the 505 strike, then we will have generated a total profit of 0.66%, not even 1%. So look, we have a great trade here, 2.9%, and we're actually moved up $9 from the original price of the stock, so we've made even more money, and there's an opportunity for the share price to increase even further up to the $500 strike. So many times when we enter a trade, position management execution is not called for, and that's exactly the case here. So let's summarize. Rolling options refer to on or near expiration Friday when the strike is in the money. In this particular case, we're not near expiration Friday, number one. And number two, the strike price is still deep out of the money, 500 compared to 475. So it does not apply. Hitting a double is when early in the contract, share price declines to 20% of the original option sale. We changed that to 10% mid-contract. Once again, price of the stock didn't decline, it went up. This does not apply. Hitting a double does not apply. The mid-contract unwind exit strategy does apply to an appreciating stock, but one that's well above the original strike price that's sold. In this case, the 500 strike was sold, and the price of the stock is 475, still below the option that was originally sold. So that mid-contract unwind exit strategy also does not apply. So as I said before, many times we'll enter a trade and no action is the best action of all, and that is the case here with Lisa's trade. But I am very pleased on two fronts. First of all, that Lisa is paper trading, and secondly, that she found a very successful trade at this point in time. Okay, so let me, before we thank everybody, let me just point out that the library of Ask Alan videos is only available to our premium members. What you do is log in to the member site and scroll down on the left side, and you will see the library of Ask Alan videos, as you see on this screenshot here, showing the top 10, 1 to 10 rather, and then click on the link below that for the remaining Ask Alan videos. This one is number 173, and we'll continue to add one video every month, archived on the premium member site only. So, Lisa, thank you so much for that question. I love doing math, but I also love conveying to our members how to calculate these returns so that it makes sense, which will help us make the best investment decisions at that point in time. I also wanted to thank everybody out there for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and most importantly, I hope you make some money from it. As always, this is Alan Ellman, the Blue Collar Investor. Take care, everybody.